What's happening, guys? It's your boy Sean Pacifico, and today this is my intro to the podcast Freestyle Yapping. I am gonna be your host. I'll be always your host, and unless someone kills me and clones me, cause I'm the one and only Sean. That's one thing about me. The reason why I call it Freestyle Yapping is on my TikTok. I used to do live streams until they banned me because they found out I was 17. I'm actually still 17, so I gotta wait. I turned 18 this year, so hopefully I'll be live streaming again. So if you're watching this and you want to see the live stream, basically I used to do the live stream, and then I used to do the right live stream, and I did, I used to name it. I think it was just yapping and rapping. That's what I used to name the fucking things. So I was like talking to my friend. I'm like, we're talking about podcasts. I'm like, bro, I should do a podcast. And I was actually surprised. Shout out Josh. Like he actually wanted to be on the podcast. Like, yo, I actually want to be I actually want to be in your podcast. And then we're on the phone, like with his girlfriend through the thing, cause we're friends. I'm friends with his girlfriend as well. Shout out Leah. Um, we were talking about. I was talking about like, oh, I want to do a podcast because like as of now, as I'm recording, I just finished my assignment. Like I handed it in like this week to my podcast for psychology. Shout out Odin and Sam if you're watching this. I bet you're not watching this, but still. But I just handed in my podcast for psychology. So we had to do a podcast for psychology. It was pretty chill. And then, but the thing is, like, I enjoyed doing it, but the fact that I couldn't say what I wanted to say, and I wanted to yap, and it was only 10 minutes, and you had to have structure. And obviously, if you're fitting to a criteria, you're not going to be able to do what you want. So, I wanted to make a podcast where I get to do whatever I want and talk about whatever I want, or invite everybody when I want, and then I do whatever I want. And also, I like yapping. Yapping is fun. Have you ever just yapped with yourself? I'm literally talking to myself today, but I'm pretending that there's actually people listening, but nobody's gonna be listening because I just started this. But furthermore, basically, this podcast is just a way for me to have a creative outlet to be talking about stuff that I think is interesting, and really, I just like I wanted to say the inspiration to make this podcast as well is because I was watching YouTube, and got this like a few months ago. I was getting in my recommendations. Sorry for my stutter. Ignore my stutter. I'm gonna put like a big like loud noise. So for the audio listeners, sorry. I'll turn that down in the fucking editing. But yeah, I was on YouTube and I was checking my recommendations, and I stumbled across this channel called Best Friends Today, and I like their videos. Like they're like it's kind of like Eric Andre, but like softcore Eric Andre, because Eric Andre is on crack half the time. Shout out Eric Andre. But Best Friends Today, they have this is funny because I'm like shout out Best Friends Today. Check out their content because I think it's pretty funny, and that's why I'm inspired to do this shit right here with this microphone and like yapping it. But so basically, I was watching the thing, and there's a dude that I've been following for ages on Instagram, or like I've seen his videos circling around, and he's like a dude on TikTok, Sammy. Shout out Sammy, cause you are goaded with the sauce. Sorry, I don't know why I said that, but you are like that. The shit you make is fucking crazy. You're like slam poetry on steroids, bro. Your references are crazy. Wait, I'm glazing. Sorry. Wait, I'm blazing. Sorry, I'm not. But all of you, all of that content, I don't know. Their chemistry is like crazy because they got hired by a company called Rooster Teeth that is going under right now. It's disbanded. It's like no more roasted teeth. RIP to Rooster Teeth. But in saying that, they they were hired for that job to do that thing. Like obviously they somewhat wanted to do that. I don't know what their situation was, but they all decided to do that. And I saw Sammy. I'm like, whoa, wait, I know this guy. This guy, I've seen this guy on Instagram and TikTok. So I was like watching their videos. I'm like, this is kind of funny. Some of the video, there's some. I've watched other videos because I have nothing else to do, and like, I've yet to find a podcast that I enjoy. Speaking of podcasts, they have their separate channel, so they have Best Friends Today, and then they have a separate channel called Hypothetical Nonsense, and they're one of their hosts, Will. Shout out Will if you're watching this. I send you a message on Instagram. I bet you're not gonna read that, but yeah, shout out Will and Caroline, because you're the stuff you say is kind of intellectual. Sorry, I didn't mean to degrade your thing. The way you say stuff is pretty smart, but the way that the show is natured, I want to just hear some funnies. I'm literally yapping right now, but I could get into deeper topics and use my intellectual power and prowess to impress some people. But I just want to yap. Sometimes I just want to yap out of my brainy yap. So, welcome again. What's yapning? This is like the middle of the video because I'm gonna be doing this for like 20 minutes, and then I'll edit it, post it, I'll put some clips up on my thing, and I'll post it on. I'll make a new YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, shout out for watching the YouTube video, because this is probably really boring until I get to something interesting. I'll put some funny edits maybe, so you don't get fucking distracted. But if you are watching this long into the video or just listening to the background, I might post this on like the Spotify podcasting as well. But yeah, so hypothetical nonsense. They have their theme is like Will makes either games or they just talk about some sort of topic. Or like they talk about Gen Alpha or Gen Z, and then they're so fucking just quoting brain rot. And they just have some funny clips that I like. And I was like, I also was doing a podcast at the time, the psychological podcast for psychology, and then I was like, "Whoa! I should do a podcast. I should do a podcast because I could be funny sometimes. Yeah, I can be so funny sometimes. Sometimes I'm just fucking annoying. But I know that I'm self-aware to an extent that I know I can be funny, and sometimes I overdo it. So yeah, I just wanted to do this podcast because I want to have a creative outlet just to be yapping. And also, we're going to have guests, so maybe it'll be less boring for the viewers. But, yeah, this is my introduction podcast. If you're listening to it, shout out everybody. Shout out Josh, shout out Leah. I don't know, because this is my third recording. I don't know because I kept messing up the intro, and I just yapped for like 10 minutes in those fucking cuts. So I don't know if I mentioned Leah or Josh in this one, and it's like a time loop. I'm stuck in a time loop. But shout out Josh, because when I mentioned the idea of starting a podcast and asking if you wanted to be on it, you actually said yes surprisingly quick. And Leah, I didn't talk about the car thing where we're talking in the car. I was like, so Josh has a girlfriend named Leah, and then Leah was on phone call with Josh, but I was in the car. So we're all talking together through the car's thingy, but me and Josh were talking to Leah, and she was explaining some story. I don't want to talk about it in this podcast because that's personal. And yeah, but basically, shout out to Josh because Josh said he would actually want to be on the podcast, and I'm like surprised he actually said it that quick. I know he listens to podcasts. I think he listens to Crash Dummies. Shout out Crash Dummies. I don't. They had some funny shit when he's playing it. He plays it. He doesn't play music in the car. He plays the Crash Dummies podcast. He's a real fan. Shout out Crash Dummies if you ever listen to this. You won't because I'm broke, short, and ran through. That is a BFT reference. But furthermore, I just wanted to introduce myself today. I've said that like 5 times, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, I just wanted to make this podcast. Like I was doing nothing. I was freestyling before. That's freestyle rapping, not yapping before. And I think I'm washed. I low key can't rap anymore. Maybe it's just because I'm tired as fuck. Cause I just had I just worked, and then I went straight to university just to do my assignments to hand them in. I need to finish that, but I wanted to record this because I felt like doing that, nerd. But if you're watching this, I'm gonna probably cut some stuff out because this video is fucking long, and I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get this off my phone onto the thing without it fucking breaking. Because you know how the fuck big how big the fucking video files from iPhone is, and it's on 60. It's on 60 FPS right now at HD mode. But I'm using the front-facing camera. Look at this shit. It looks like I'm about to get plowed. Pause. That was zesty as fuck. Sorry. But yeah, this is basically just me yapping for a little bit. When I actually get guests on the show, it'll be actually kind of interesting because we'll have some banter, we'll have some funny jokes, and we'll be yapping together as a family. What the fuck? Why did I say family? Family Guy. Hey, Peter. Basically, that was so cringe. Why did I do that shit? Someone get me out of here. I'm trapped in a white room. The white room that like they said that I would go to when I reach a certain age. But that's for later lore. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm just saying random shit. I swear to fucking God, if I turn around and there's like a ghost behind me, I'm gonna fuck it. But furthermore, I just wanna yap. And that's it, yeah. That's not what I wanna do. Because I wanna yap, I just wanna yap for a bitty shitty bitty. I don't know how people like do people when they do like do I cut stuff out for the podcast? Do I have to cut stuff out if I want like so if there's certain stuff that I don't want in the podcast, like that cringe moment I did before? If I did cut this out when I was video editing, shout out Sean, cause you're a G. Shout out me for real. But yeah, this is freestyle yapping, and I might have segments where I freestyle, but right now I have my capabilities of recording stuff is literally just FL Studio and my iPhone camera. So maybe when I get a webcam, I can screen record or some shit. But yeah, shout out BFT, shout out Hypothetical Nonsense, shout out Josh, shout out Neo, shout out Leah. Shout out Crash Dummies for making that funny podcast that I listened to while I was in the car, because that shit was funny. Um, yeah, welcome to welcome, welcome to the Welcome Podcast. Welcome to freestyle yapping. That shit, bro, I had an epiphany when I made out that name. I'm like, bro, what if I told Josh, I texted him, I'm like, we talked about the fucking podcast in the car. I'm like, after we had this whole fucking incident, this fucking event that's probably gonna be, it's a core memory now. But I texted him, I had a fucking epiphany. I was like this. I was like this. I was like thinking on my bed. I'm like, I wasn't even thinking on my bed. I was probably just like, oh my God. What if I name it Freestyle Yapping? What? That's a crazy name. Cause it's like freestyle rapping, and I make music, and I'm like talking on the podcast. Nah, that shit tripping. Oh, for real. There's gonna be moments where I start fucking tweaking on this podcast, and Hopefully I can edit like the shit when the time it peaks, like the mic peaks, but I put a limiter on my voice, so hopefully it's not too loud. Cause I have my mixer like it's full volume. It shouldn't be full volume. But hopefully when I mix it, it's not too loud for everybody who's listening. But yeah, welcome to the family. If you want to listen to the podcast, if you want to be here, if you want to be a guest in your local, or maybe you're just famous and you've stumbled upon my podcast, like shout out, like if you want to sponsor me, yeah, hit me in DM. I had that funny video where I said, "Come on my face, yeah, come on my face." Shut up, Sean. I had that viral video. It went around. It said it was all in Canada. So if you're in Canada or like a Canadian brand or the U.S., it was the statistic metric said that you watched it in the United States and Canada. I'm not even from Canada. I'm in Australia right now. Do I sound Australian? No. Dog, I do not sound Australian. Good. That's good because I honestly I don't mind. I don't mind it now. Like, but if I were to have an Australian accent, I would probably like not talk again. Cause like, as much as I love sometimes, sometimes I love Australia. It's a good country and there's the healthcare and there's no guns that shoot me and stuffs. The culture here, I don't know. It's like, it's cool, but I don't know. Sometimes there's some shit that's normalized here, and it's just, sometimes Australians are just racist. For no apparent reason. But furthermore, welcome to the Poo Poo Podcast. Dude, the Poo Poo Podcast. Well, this is Sean from the end of the podcast. I'm gonna probably cut a bunch of stuff I said out, but if you finish the video, welcome. My name is Sean, and welcome to the freestyle yapping podcast. And also, if you watched to the end of the video and you actually enjoyed this, I don't know how you enjoyed this because I'm fucking tweaking. Fucking tweaking. And I'm gonna pee really bad. Comment down below what you want me to talk about, and I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna get guests on here. But yeah, till next time, guys. Till next time. Peace.